there. What? I think I might have peaked. I think I may have peaked on. I have not peaked on the mic for a long time. During an intro. So what's up, bitches? My name's Peak Elliot. Peak Alias kind of sounds like a bad manga that you would find at like an anime convention. Not that I've been, you know. I would never go. What an awful intro to an amazing game, dude. I get to say this again. I'm so excited that I get to say this again, and I want to say it again. Are you ready? They just don't make them like this anymore. They just don't make games like this anymore. I guess given the fact that the last time I said this was about 2.5 weeks ago, I guess they probably do still make them like this. But I don't care, man. Yeah, the last time I said this was with Warhammer Bolt Gun. But man, they just don't. This game is bloody amazing. It's incredible. I love this game, Evil West. It is so good, and it's so good for the same reasons the Bolt Gun is so good as well. And I guess the whole like preface of, or the umbrella of, they don't make them like this anymore, that's for the same reason too. It's not because of any aesthetic or anything like that, or any gameplay choice. It's purely because this is a game where it's just like, go play the video game. I'm going to give you missions. I want you to start here and I want you to get over there, and there's going to be combat. And the great thing about this game is that there is a definite sense that whoever it was, I think Focus Interactive, said to the developers, hey, we're just going to make a video game and I want you to do that. Can you make a really cool video game that is as good as you can possibly make? And they were like, hell yeah, brother. Let's do it. Let's make an amazing video game. And they freaking nailed it. This is so good. This game is so friggin' good. If you have Game Pass, just stop this video. I don't care if you dislike it. End the video. Go download it. Because it has just entered Game Pass. And I really hope that a game like this can get supported quite well. There's no open world. It's not an open world game, my brother. My brother in Christ. It is a linear, mission-based game. You move from one place to the next. You run across things. You have like this hook that you can like hook onto things and swing across open barriers, or you can like parkour over bits and stuff like that. That's about as intense as like the movement gets. But then there's the combat. The combat is so spot on. This is a third-person shooter. Now, I will say, despite the fact that I said they don't make them like this anymore, it does feel. You do feel the heavy presence of the very like encounter-based gameplay that we have in video games now, thanks to oh my god, what are they called? The Souls guys. Thanks to the people from Software, where, you know, it's this heavy encounter-based gameplay. Every game is doing it now, unfortunately. But yes, it's, you know, you don't regen health, you don't like move through enemies like they're paper, like in, you know, the days of Uncharted and Call of Duty and stuff like that. Every encounter matters, and you have to manage a lot of things. However, here it's just fucking awesome. It's just great. I mean, the gameplay is just so good. It's a third-person shooter, and you will like whittle away at your enemies, but you also have this awesome punch move that you can use, and you can stack that. And in this game, that is a third-person shooter, you can also combo melees, and there's this great punch attack you can do where if you hold the melee attack. Now, by the way, if you notice my gameplay is bad in terms of melee, my right bumper is screwed, and that is the melee button, and yet I still love it. You hold the melee button and it like punches them into the air, and if you hold it again, it punches them back down. But if you do it in the right direction, you can knock them into like these obstacles, which then knocks the obstacles down. It's great, and you can punch them off of the edge of the ledges as well. And it's all just super buttery smooth, and it has that great Doom-esque finisher thing where they'll be glowing and you can go over to them, do a melee attack and get some stuff like health and what have you. Your health is on a cooldown, which I think is great, and there are a myriad of upgrades, things you can buy from a shop, and you can upgrade your character. Now, I will say there is a fairly close comparison between this and Remnant 2, which if you've been on my channel before, you'll know that I absolutely adored as well. Honestly though, this is a lot more action based, I would say, whereas Remnant 2 sort of takes its time a little bit more. This just wants to get you from encounter to encounter to encounter. Like, it never wants you to not be doing something badass, and it does a great job of that. And I would honestly say, given how freeing this feels, I actually think maybe I prefer Evil West to Remnant 2. It's just that good. And as you can probably see, the presentation is stunning. This is a AA game. This is a AA game, but this is what you can do when you make a linear mission-based game. You can make it look as good as this. This is what you're missing out on when you only play open world games. This is a AA game. This is Skull and Bones is supposed to be a quadruple A game, and I think this looks way better. This, and it always looks badass too, like with a couple of dips here and there, but typically it just always looks fantastic. But I think one of my favorite things about the game is that the powers that you get, that just constantly stack in a way that feels great and kind of like fills a hole that you didn't realize needed filling. Like there's this cool electric whip that you get quite early on in the game, and so you don't realize how important or how useful something like that would be, and then they give it to you and you're like, oh awesome, I can like block enemies, but as I block them I can electrocute them. But then, you know, just a few minutes later they're like, oh hey, you know, this is a whip as well, right? And you can whip enemies towards you, and if they're stunned you can just look at an enemy and whip them towards you and do that melee attack to get things from them, and you realize how useful that is as a utility. But then as that's happening, they then scale the enemies and everything kind of works around it, and it just fits. It just matches perfectly. The progression in this game is absolutely amazing, and I have nothing else to say about this game but that it is absolutely incredible. Evil West is a definite recommend, and I absolutely love it.
The PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.